Hi, I'm Kathy Mills from Short Film Edits, and I'm here with Quinn Holmes for an interview today. How are you?
I'm doing very well, Kathy. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Could we start this with you telling us a little bit about you?
Yes, my name's Quinn. I'm originally from a small town right outside of New Orleans, Louisiana. I grew up there my whole life, stayed there my whole life, and I went to Louisiana State University for about a year. And when I was there, I came to LA to visit a friend. And when I visited LA for the first time, I saw, oh my God, my dreams could be possible. You know what I mean? Because where I'm from, it's a little
Mm.
small town. It's like not really looked upon to go outside of the realm, and it's very set and it's cookie cutter. It's like you're a doctor. You know what I mean? Like their idea of success is different from the entertainment industry, clearly. That's not even an option.
Yeah.
So I came and visited LA, and then after my first year at LSU, I was there for PR. I was lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I finally got the courage to leave school and move to LA at 19. And I've been here for about, I think I just came up on my 3-year mark. I'm 22 now. And yeah, that's my backstory. That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So, what drew you to the vertical space?
What drew me to the vertical space? Well, originally, honestly, when I was in acting classes and I was just on Actors Access, of course, and I started talking to a bunch of people when I was doing student films and short films and everything just to like build up my reel. Originally, like heard people in class talking about these things and I wasn't really aware of what they were. And then I got on Actors Access and I saw the listings. And when I started researching them, let me preface, let me go back a little bit. As an actor, my current goal, my like dream growing up, I fell in love with acting because I was so in love with like CW teen dramas, that whole era of like fantasy and like just teen dramas, the whole 2012, 2015 era was what I wanted, which is very similar to soap operas because it's overly dramatized. And when I saw the listings and I researched on what they were, I just was like, yeah, I love to be dramatic and get paid for it. It just seemed very, very fun. So I booked a day player role for one that actually like trended number one on Drama Box for a hot minute. And it was a crazy role. Like, you know, verticals. My first introduction to
Mhm.
vertical, I was like beating my pregnant sister trying to sell her on the black market. Um,
Hmm.
but after I did one, I was like, this is very fun. This is very I love the people already. I made friends off the first one right off the bat, and I just fell in love with like the fast pacedness of it and like how it's go go go. I'm like that. I have ADHD, so it's very very nice.
Okay. Has your film and TV production background shaped your approach to acting?
I mean, I would say it, it shaped it in the way where I did do a little bit of theater when I was younger, but I'd say what shaped my acting background more was when I was younger, I wanted to be a YouTuber, so I would make like skits and vlogs and stuff like that. And I would like kind of write scripts in my head and like write them down and like it was just beautiful to like be able to have an idea and execute it and create a work of art, even though it was just a YouTube video. But that's why I fell in love with film. And I would say that that could be background semi, not like in parts, but like if that makes sense at all, what I'm trying to say. I feel like that really shaped how I still to this day go into acting when I do a scene. Like I feel like when I was younger, I would create techniques on character development and I would break all that down myself before even getting actually educated on it in classes. And that has allowed me to like further advance my career with those techniques, if
Mhm.
that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yep. Cool. Okay. What's one piece of acting advice that has stuck with you?
Acting or like the whole industry or like
Yeah.
physically acting?
Anything, whole industry.
It's it's a big game of who can stick it out the longest and who's willing. I feel like you can do anything in life if you want it bad enough and you're willing to work for it. Because if you would have asked me what my life is even 1 or 2 years ago, I wouldn't have thought it'd be this. But if you
Mm.
decide you want something and you work towards it and you can do anything you want, I'm a big firm believer in that.
When did you decide that you wanted to start acting?
Professionally, it was a few months after I moved to Los Angeles. I kind of moved here to find myself, and I did when I realized I had the courage to actually chase my dreams. I originally moved here just because I wanted to make my own life. But when I saw it was actually possible, that's when everything for me changed. And I knew I decided I like went and audited a class and I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. It's like I decided in that second. And now I feel like I'm in it for the long run, no matter what.
Yeah. Mm.
It's
What
helped
do you
me.
love about the vertical format, especially?
I love the fun and then the crazy storylines, the slaps, the dramatics. I love like I said earlier, I love the fast pacedness of it because you're booking out like 20, the page is like 90, the script is 90 pages. You're doing 20 pages a day. So you have to be in it. And it's kind of, I like how challenging it is because there will be days where you have to cry, you have to be angry, you have to get married,
Mm.
you have to fight all in one day. So it's like really, really challenging, but like for an actor to be able to do all that, but I love challenges because it just makes you a better actor. So it's like I'm learning as I'm working.
Yeah. I think one of your biggest challenges, and this is just from my opinion because I'm not an actor, but that would be trying to, you don't get many takes. So trying to
Yeah.
nail it on the first
Yeah.
or second take would probably
Yeah.
be the biggest challenge, yeah.
What's worse is when you do like a rehearsal and it's so good, and then you do the take and you're like, I could have done better, but you are on a vertical. So they're like, we have to go. We have to go. That take will work. And it's like, so that is the challenge, but it's also, like I said, it's more training into being able to lock in and get it. It's challenging,
Mhm.
but it's worth it when you can do it. It's fun. It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. How do you stay creatively inspired between projects?
I currently just restarted The Artist Way, the book about where you unlock your creativity. I try and I find myself in phases not doing this, but this is what I attempt to do. My morning routine is, of course, to wake up and not scroll, doom scroll, but I like to go get ready, go get some coffee, and I like to journal. Just write about my day, write about my feelings. I like to list what I'm grateful for, write down any ideas I have before my mind gets like messed up by false dopamine hits from my phone. So it's nice to store time away from yourself, especially early in the morning when you have time to actually still have that creativeness that I feel like technology kind of kills sometimes.
Yeah, I'm a stickler for that. I get up, roll over, and my phone is in my hand.
I still do it. I still do it all the time. And I literally, it's like you have to force yourself. But give it like once I do it like 5 days in a row, it's fine. But the second you
Mm.
do 1 or 2 days, like habits are so easy to get into. That's a
Yeah,
challenge.
I've noticed that if I'm doom scrolling too much and I have like especially because I got children, especially on school days, I have to go and make their lunches and I'll just be scrolling and then went, oh my God, I've got to go and then go like
Yeah.
rush. So
Yeah.
I've been trying to like get up, go do the lunches and everything and then sit on
Yeah.
my phone. Like just try and switch it up a little bit so it's not the first
Yeah.
thing that I do.
Yeah. Because it's like nice when you actually have time to like take your time and you could actually like notice things that you won't when you're rushing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and make myself a cappuccino instead of an instant coffee.
Mm,
That is
I love a
important.
cappuccino. Love a
Yeah,
cappuccino.
I just bought myself a machine, so
I want
yeah,
one.
yeah, they're good. They're very good. Okay. Um, how do you decide which auditions or roles feels right for you?
Well, when I read the breakdown that I get, I feel like in my mind, especially in the vertical space, there's certain things I know I'm not going to do right off the bat. So if I see that in the breakdown, that's a no. Most of them, I honestly like auditioning for as many different types of roles I can, as long as they don't have those things I don't like doing. Because, like I said earlier, I like the challenge. I know my typecast, I know what I'm good at, but I want to audition and be able to do what I'm know I'm not good at or think I'm not good at. Like the point of being an actor, I feel like, is to become different people and be able to embody different characters. So if I stick to what I like, I don't think that makes you a good actor. That makes sense. So it's like
Yeah, it does.
I pretty much like to go for as many different things as I can. It's so fun. Sometimes what you think is like the hardest character, like a complete villain, because I consider myself a nice guy, is oftentimes one of the easiest things to switch into because
Mm,
you know exactly what not to do, if that makes sense.
mm,
Like you do the opposite of what you think you would do if it was you. And so it
yeah.
makes it fun. That's why I like playing characters.
I heard a lot of times that the villains get a lot more creativity to go
Yeah.
off a little bit of like improv rather than the leads
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. When you're the villain, you could just they want you to just go crazy, like go
Hmm.
crazy. And it's so fun to be able to do that. A lot of the time when you're the lead, it's like you're the good guy, so you have to stay there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But villains are fun. I do like playing villains because you could
Yeah,
just
I know that a lot of
lose your
people like
mind.
a lot of people like the villain-led verticals because you're the lead, but you're also the villain. So like you
Yeah,
can,
yeah. I just did one like that. Or was a female villain for the lead, and it's so fun. It was just
mm,
so fun. I could
yeah.
just tell she was having a great time.
Oh, that's good. I think that's an important part of your day too, is to have fun. It's
Yep.
like a huge part of the day. Yeah. Okay. Which role do you think would challenge you the most?
Like ballpark, like just in general.
In general, whichever role you think would challenge you the most.
I still have yet to do this, so I do think like playing like a serial killer would be very challenging. Because
Mm,
I'm not a method actor, but sometimes when I try and to like journal and develop a character, I try to get into that mindset, and I just haven't even tried to like put that in my brain. But I feel like
yeah.
that'd be very difficult to like be figure out how to be a person that's okay and wants that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think a character like that would have to have a storyline that people could kind of, not that you could ever empathize with a spirit serial killer, but kind of like understand why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah,
I think that would have a huge part in that.
yeah. Well, those I feel like I could do that. That is a little easier, I feel like, in the sense where it's like revenge or like killed a family member or something like that. But like, I think I mean more kind of like psychopath, like
Mm,
just straight out murderer. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like that I've challenged with, like being mentally unstable. I feel like it'd be
yeah,
fun, but it would be challenging, I believe.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not a horror person. I don't like horror, but I've heard that that's actually like one of the funnest things to film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Have you
never
ever
done
done a
horror.
horror?
That's no, but that's literally what I want to do. Like it
Yeah.
sounds so fun to be running around from a killer. I want to do like
Mm.
a teen slasher. That sounds so fun.
Hmm.
Like American Horror Story
Yeah.
1984, one of my favorite. Yes, one of
Yeah.
those.
That'd be cool. I mean, I heard that I mean, I don't like Saw. Saw is like, past what I like to watch, but apparently it's like really fun to film. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay,
No, I
not
bet.
me.
I'm not. I've watched like half of it and I couldn't. I'm not that much of a horror fan.
No.
I like more like Insidious, like the supernatural horrors, but I don't like just plain out
Mm,
horror movies. Honestly, I can't
yeah.
do it. My mom
Yeah.
hated them, so I grew up not watching them.
Yeah. Yeah. They weren't my thing either. I love comedy. That's my thing.
Okay,
Comedy and action
comedy and
are my
drama.
two favorite ones. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. What kind of legacy do you want to leave through your work?
I think one of my current goals right now is I feel like a lot of actors really want big feature films. But
Yes.
what I want as a person right now is a hit television show. Because I fell in love with television, and the legacy I'd want to leave is I have fell in love with these characters and the ability, because it's a TV show, you can watch them grow and watch character development through
Yeah.
seasons rather than an hour every 5 years.
Yeah.
So it's like the fandom of like a shipping of two characters or something like that.
Mhm.
That's that's kind of the legacy I'd aim for right now. Like when you play someone that's so iconic, that's loved and hated by so many, that there's discourse, but also just like an underlying like you're remembered. You know what I mean? That's a legacy. Like there's
Yeah.
famous shows, like that's a legacy. References when you're a Halloween costume 30 years later, like that's a
Yeah.
legacy, I feel like.
Yeah. Do you have any specific kind of genre that you want to do for that?
Teen sci-fi fantasy is my current obsession. I still rewatch the 100, the
Yeah.
Vampire Diaries, like that whole dystopian fantasy era with supernatural stuff. I love supernatural stuff. I love bringing like fantasy to life, especially books I've read, which
Yeah.
I've read those amazing, amazing, and
Yeah.
that's what I've wanted.
So I think I'm a little bit scared to admit this, but I've never seen Vampire Diaries.
It's
Never
it's
watched it.
that is the example that I'm saying characters that are so a legacy that's so old, and I'm outside for Halloween right now and like still
Mm,
people are dressing up like that. There's
yeah.
still videos being made, like you talk to people, it's like an instant bonding moment when you can like reference a show with a stranger
Yeah.
and talk about your ideas and your theories and everything. That's what I love so
Yeah.
much. That's like a legacy, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, when people mention their names, I'm like, I know what they're from, but I've never actually really seen it. The 100 I have seen, and that
uh,
took a very weird turn after the
At
second
the
season.
season 5, and it ended after season 5. Actually,
Yeah,
what's funny is did you watched the last two seasons, right?
I think so, yes. Yeah.
There's like this character who's like the king of like the other world. He's at my gym and I work out next to him every single day. And have never told him hi, but I'm just like, I
Oh,
loved you when I was 13 my whole life.
yeah.
But
Just
yeah,
tell him.
I'm gonna one day. I'm building up the courage. You know what
You
I
know
mean?
what? The best thing to do is just do it.
Yeah. I'll take
Yeah.
that advice. I'll do it and I'll send you a photo.
Yeah, I need to see that now. Proof. Need proof. All right. Um, what's your favorite and the least favorite part about being on set?
My favorite part is bonding with the whole cast and crew.
Mhm.
'Cause after, especially verticals, they're like 7 day shoots. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
by day two, no, but like by day three, most of the time, everyone's pretty so close. And I like how even though you're only together for a short amount of time, you make bonds that if I saw anyone in public or see anyone anywhere, instant friends, like you'll still go talk to them, like it's a day hasn't passed. I feel like at more not regular, more like corporate jobs and stuff like that, like coworkers, it's not very together, but I feel like on set it does feel like a family. So that's my favorite part.
Yeah.
The least favorite part is I'm a person who I need like some time to like I get very not overstimulated, it's not the word. I mean, like by hour 10, usually I'm like sitting down feeling like I'm gonna pass out. I need some water. Like I just need to chill. I need some time alone to just like breathe for a second to come back into my
Mhm.
body. And I feel like the least favorite part would be like towards the end when it's a rush, like I just wish I had a little more time. But it's also the job I signed up for, so I am grateful and I'm not
Yeah,
complaining. But
no.
yeah, just not I mean, it's going fast and I say I love it, but it's also I also hate it. I only hate it when I'm feeling bad. On days I don't feel bad though, I
Yeah.
it's so fun. But that's honestly that's probably it. I love being on set. It's one of my favorite things. I wrapped a few days ago and I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself right now.
Hmm.
Like it's very, very fun. I love the long days and the hours and stuff like that.
Yeah. Have you ever, so in your experience for like going into verticals, do you have to audition a lot or have you got calls for like callbacks and what's your experience there?
Um I still do audition a lot, but I have gotten offered a couple of my roles. A lot of them I will submit to at the beginning, especially. It was mainly just submitting, but it's a
Yeah.
very tight knit community. Like I just went to a vertical party, like everyone knows
Mm,
everyone. So it's
yeah.
like once you do one or two, like people see you, they want you, and they will just like email me and ask for an audition, but or they'll just like offer me a role. So it's like I'm kind of in the middle point right now where it's 50-50, where I'm getting reached out to and still auditioning. Um, but from what I know from friends and stuff, it's like once you have a few leads come out, you're just gonna get offered. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
Yeah.
That's
I
me.
had that just in the last interview I did. So yeah.
Yeah, so my friends, I'm like, do you have an audition? They're like, no. I'm like, what do you
Yeah.
what do you mean? What do you mean you don't audition? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. It's different for everybody, but at the end of the day, you're all doing an amazing job, no matter which part you're at, you know? So that's good. All right. What are some challenges that you face on set that others outside the field might not recognize?
Kind of circling back to what I said earlier, where when you're on set and you do, like I said, you're doing 20 pages a day. So I did this one the other day where I am a not a bad guy, but I'm like a bad guy. Like they want me in an evil mindset like that. Like the whole first half of the day, I'm in a complete evil mindset, and you have to be like that when you're talking to the director and you're working on yourself. And then they say cut 1 second, and then f- not even 5 minutes later, they want you like sobbing and like being the complete opposite. But then right after that, 5 minutes later, they want you to go back to the other one.
Hmm.
So I feel like the
Yeah.
challenge with verticals especially is the time constraint with switching the mindset to be able to have the ability to showcase the character to the best of your like oh my god, what's that word? To the best of your
Ability.
ability.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
That's fair.
that has to be it. I feel like that's definitely one of the things, but like I said, it's just getting better at it. But it is a big challenge, especially because in like feature films and stuff I worked on, they'll give you emotional space and you'll have time to like, if you need to cry, they'll give you a room to go sit in and like process. But these, it's just like bam, bam, bam. So that's a little problem.
Yeah.
And there has been performances where I've been upset about, but sometimes you just gotta learn from what happened and try and use that for the next time to get better.
Yeah. I mean, look, one thing that I absolutely despise is when I see people make comments on social media about acting in verticals. And it's like, you guys have no idea the amount of takes that you don't get, like the time constraints and the ability to not have that time. Like you guys don't even get table reads sometimes, but sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
So if people really understood exactly what you guys go through to make this vertical that they want to watch, they'd be a little less rude. Maybe I don't know if rude's the word, but a little bit more sympathetic as to
Yeah.
like, you know, that. So
No, I
yeah,
completely agree.
yeah. And I also heard that like sometimes when you're like filming, like you were talking about going from happy to sad quite fast. How do you feel when they like stop you halfway through a scene when you're like crying and then you have to go back? Have you had that a lot where they stop you halfway?
Not crying, but there's been very once a lot of the time, a lot of the directors I've worked with recently have been amazing where
Mm,
even if they see something wrong, I'm like in filmmaking, I'm a pure believer of like rather than the shot being perfect, as long as the emotion is clearly delivered, that's more important. And a lot of directors I've worked with recently have been very into that where like they'll let it finish or they'll let a moment pass and then they'll be like, all right, we got to retake rather than stopping in the middle. But when
yeah.
that has happened, you're just like, like it's the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Like it is so bad. Because then you just have to go all the way back in your mind and start all over, and then it's like, because my acting technique is very miser, so it's like rather than planning it out, it's like feeling the emotions as they're happening. So to go back
Mm,
to not feeling something and then start the moment over, it's not going to be the exact same every time.
mm.
So it does. It's not very fun when that
No, I think
happens.
running out the scene is the better idea, and then you can just
Yeah.
talk about it and go back.
Even if it's like, even if they're not recording, it's the work will be better. Just to
Mm,
redo it fully, then interrupt and mess up the mindset. I am a firm believer of that.
yeah, I can see that. Like I've never lived through it, but I mean, just knowing that you guys go through that, I'm like, yeah, that would throw me. I think that would throw
Yeah.
anybody. Just like somebody like when you're talking or something and somebody cuts you off. It's like, wait, and you get thrown back
Yeah.
and then you have to go back. Yeah, not bad analogy maybe, but you get what I mean.
No, no, I get what you're saying though. It makes sense.